What up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Appreciate y'all hanging out.
Hail to the king, baby.
So, what up, what up, what up? Two videos in one day. Who am I right now? Trying to milk this time before the school year starts. I'm on summer vacation for another couple weeks, but let's get right into today's topic. If you like horror movies, if you like physical media, you like indie cult cinema, B movies, low budget schlock, be sure to hit that like button below. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I appreciate you guys. Go check out my other video. I did a video on the madness that's going on with the Faces of Death releases from Vinegar Syndrome, at least from my perspective. I've seen some craziness. So go check out that video I uploaded earlier today. Would love to get your thoughts on that. But let's get into today's topic, which is underrated horror movies. Now, this I want to do in like a series, and I gotta tell you, I have two picks today. Okay, and I have two movies here that I for the life of me just never really get talked about, never really get spoken about as good horror, or like they're just not even really mentioned among any conversation, and they are two of my absolute favorite horror movies. Like I can't even stress that enough. Um and they just deserve more love. And what sparked me to do this video is recently, a few days ago, I watched one of these movies on tape, and I fell in love with it all over again. And so let's get right into it. The first movie is a 2006 Sam Raimi directed film called Drag Me to Hell.
Shame me.
Soon it will be you who comes begging to me.
Someone has cursed you. He's the Lamia, the most feared of all demons. For the first 3 days, the spirit torments its victims. After that, it will come to take you.
Take me where?
To burn in hell for eternity.
Let me just say, Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi kicks so much ass. I cannot even stress to you how amazing this movie is. People talk about Evil Dead Burn and Lee Cronin's The Mummy, you know, in regards to movies that could be an Evil Dead film. Drag Me to Hell could be an Evil Dead film, and a damn good one at that. You know, Evil Dead is one of my favorite, if not my favorite franchise of all time, outside of Halloween. And you know, Drag Me to Hell is just right in that same universe in so many different ways. But in a lot of ways, it's better. You know, it's superior in some ways. But let's get into it. So I watched this. I have this movie in a few different editions. I watched this super cool Death by VHS edition of Drag Me to Hell the other night. It's a really super cool release. He does amazing work over there at Death by VHS. You get a whole like title card intro for his kind of business. And so I watched this. I actually just got a brand new CRT that I found on Marketplace for like $150. The 20-inch Quasar. You can actually see it right here next to me. And my old 27-inch is kind of like, I'm getting a lot of buzz these days. So I wanted to get something else new. And so I've been like the last couple of days just watching tapes on repeat. And I've watched Drag Me to Hell, and this movie is just so damn fun. You have Christine, who is as cute and bubbly as it possibly gets, played by, I believe her name's Ali Loman. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember her name. I don't know why Allison Loman's coming to me. Um, but anyway, so the blonde-haired girl, I just forgot her name. It might be that, but she is this bank teller who is trying to get this position for a raise and a promotion. She's battling with this other guy, and her boss basically said to her, you know, you got to be more assertive, you got to be more aggressive, and if you do that, you know, I can definitely consider you for the position. And in comes Mrs. Ganush, the old decrepit Mrs. Ganush, who requests a bank loan and is denied by Christine. And you know, it just, this movie, Mrs. Ganush ends up being like the mortal foil in this movie. She's like the quintessential villain, bad guy, demon, whatever you want to call it, in the real life. And then there's this demon called the Lamia that exacerbates all of this. It is so fun and obscure and hilarious. And the demons in this, we talk about Evil Dead Burn. You talk about what the Deadites are in that movie. That movie's a joke. Okay, apologies to anyone who enjoyed that movie. I'm not trying to yuck your yum, and I'm not trying to shit on the director. Everyone has different ideas of what makes a movie good and what their visions are for these movies. That movie was a pile of trash, in my opinion, as far as what I love and appreciate about Evil Dead movies. People might see that movie and be like, that was phenomenal, and that's fine. In my opinion, that was not an Evil Dead film, and so I have to be very critical of it. Drag Me to Hell could be an Evil Dead film. The Deadites in this movie, or let me get back to my train of thought here. The Deadites in Evil Dead Burn are horrible. They are so terrible. They're so, evil and, they make no sense, and they're just aggressive. Deadites are supposed to be fun and loving. You're supposed to have fun with them. Drag Me to Hell, the demons in this movie, while they're not Deadites, they very well could be. They're dancing around. You got the classic eye popping out into Christine's mouth. When Mrs. Ganush is I don't even want to spoil anything, but there's just scenes where she's literally almost like biting her. They are just so damn fun in this movie. And not only that, it's actually a scary movie. That's what I think we're misinterpreting scary and fun with barbaric. And I think somewhere along the line in the Evil Dead, Quantum, we've mistaken that. But I don't want to make this an Evil Dead video. Drag Me to Hell is so damn fun. And the honest truth about Drag Me to Hell is that this could be my favorite ending in horror movie history. It's very possible that it is a top 5 horror movie ending in horror movie history, but it's very well possibly my favorite. I cannot stress that enough. I don't want to spoil it, but this movie is not happy-go-lucky. It might not end happy-go-lucky, and it is just freaking awesome. Part of the trademark of a movie that really leaves me hanging, leaves me wanting more, is that ending, and I cannot stress it enough. I texted my buddy Flam, who we saw this in the theaters together back in 2006. We were just talking about the ending because it's just so damn good. And I want to stress to you how amazing Mrs. Ganush is in this movie. There's a scene when you just see her nails on the bank desk like this, and her old and gross and decrepit fingers and dirty fingernails are just on the desk doing this. And it is so creepy and terrifying. Drag Me to Hell freaking rocks, man. If you have not seen Drag Me to Hell, it is an absolute masterclass in horror. One of Sam Raimi's best films, bar none. Strong recommend for me. There's also a Scream Factory 4K edition. This is kind of another great way to own this movie. It's probably the way to own this movie. I don't ever need another edition of this again, because I have this 4K from Scream Factory. This is a great way to go out and check this movie. So that's that. So yeah, Drag Me to Hell, man. That is my first one. Let me know if you guys think of Drag Me to Hell down below. But I freaking adore that movie. I absolutely love it. It is so damn good, and I could watch that movie all day long. The ups and downs, all that good stuff. All right, I got one more for you guys. And this gonna be how I do this. I'm gonna do it in parts. So this is part 1, part 2, because I have so many thoughts to say on a lot of these movies that I just feel don't get talked about enough. And maybe you do love it, and that's great. So let me know down in the comments below if you like these movies, etc. But the other one is a 2009 film. One of the first movies I ever bought on physical media, really, in my early days of collecting, and I still have that same edition. But it's a movie it's Ty West directed, my favorite Ty West film ever. It's called House of the Devil.
You like it? I love it. It's perfect. About the deposit, I'll agree to waive all the deposit stuff. You just give me the first month's down, we'll call it a day, all right? It's hard coming up with all that money, isn't it? It's gonna work out.
You're not the one with $84 in her bank account and a check to write on Monday.
You know what you should do? Hi, I'm calling in regards to the babysitter flyer posted outside my dorm.
Tonight's big eclipse is now well underway.
I feel a little weird just dropping you out here in the middle of wherever we are.
I absolutely love this movie more than anything in the world. Truly, truly, truly. I had this gorgeous second sight edition of this movie, but this thing took a long time to come to fruition. This thing had a pretty bare bones Blu-ray for a long time, but I had it on DVD. Now, as I said, I actually double dipped on this. I picked up the second sight release as well as the Umbrella release because the Umbrella release came first, but actually preferred the artwork on the second sight. I actually have since traded off my Umbrella, which I regret doing, but you live and you learn. I still have the movie, which is what's most important. But I had this DVD. I was looking forward. It's somewhere in my collection somewhere. But try and pull for you guys. I've talked about it before, but I bought the DVD of this thing from my local Blockbuster that was going out of business. And I will always cherish that edition. Like that's one of my most prized pieces in my collection. I will never get rid of it. And because it's one of the first real, piece of physical media that I bought. I was collecting as a kid. And I, when I got to college and I started to have some of my own money, I would just buy DVDs all the time. And my friends and I would go to Best Buy, and I've shared this before. They would always steal DVDs and steal things from Best Buy, and I would never do that. So I would always kind of like hang outside while they did that. That wasn't really my style. And then I would go in and kind of get the things that I was interested in. And we would go to Blockbuster and rent tapes and rent DVDs all the time. And House of the Devil was a movie I just adored, and when my Blockbuster was going out of business, I picked it up for like, I don't know, $1 or something. Now I have this gorgeous edition, but House of the Devil, again, it's Ti West, and it's about a college student who is struggling for money, and she's struggling to pay her rent, and so she picks up a babysitting job that she thinks is gonna be a huge boon for her, a huge, fantastic, one night, $400, and it's gonna be really helpful. But when she gets there, it turns out that the babysitting job is not what she had originally been told. It's actually for an elderly woman, and that's the basic premise of the movie. Now, this thing is Hitchcockian. It's a mood-type movie. There's only about 5 or 6 people in this entire movie. But it is the most unsettling and unnerving movie with an absolute just bombshell of a scene that I'm not going to spoil. But the movie kind of builds and builds, and it reaches this crescendo in this one scene that just kind of it just kind of like blows you out of your seat. And it's kind of hard to recover from that one scene. And then that things are sinister abound. And it continues to build and escalate, and then the final act of this movie is just bananas. And there's a lot of similarities, I think, in how the ending kind of operates with both House of the Devil and Drag Me to Hell. But like I said, this thing is absolutely littered with just Hitchcockian elements, and there's all kinds of great 80s style songs in this. There's a scene when the main character has her headphones on, and she's just kind of dancing around the house, eating pizza and doing chores, and it's just like it's just an unsettling scene, even though there's a good vibe to it. It's just a mastercraft, in my opinion, in storytelling and in horror movie making. The directorialship of this movie, the way things are shot, is just magnificent. I adore this movie. I would even go as far as say it could be in my top 15 favorite movies all time. I'd have to really go through a list, but it is an incredible movie if you haven't seen it. So those are my 2 picks today. 2 underrated horror films that I just feel like are so good that really don't get talked about enough. That I feel like should maybe get a little more love. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. As always, be sure to hit that like button, and I'll catch you later. Peace.